Hi friends, host Eric here, Talking with Fantasy People. I'm hopeful that in the short-term future that video will be published. I should have published it while I was there, but I didn't do it. Anyway, I appreciate Taylor's thoughts on my new relationship. I appreciate his concerns regarding the status of my balls and in whose hands they might be. Uh, I certainly concede to, I mean, I concede that I want to make her happy and that I do things that are intended to make her happy, among other reasons. I know that she makes me happy. But I think what's a lot more significant than that is to factor in things like age and agenda. So she and I have the same age and we have the same agenda, but complementary agendas. I think that's important. That that the logistics of a person's life match one's own is significant. So the fact that Kimberly and I are spending so much time together is predicated on the fact that she's available for this much time. I know I want somebody who's a serious partner next to me most of the time, you know, with me a lot. So it's important then that I find a partner who has the same interests, goals, capacity to be there that amount, and is looking to fill the role that I want to have filled and looking for somebody to fill a role that she wants to have filled. And those things need to be complementary. This is a very logic based approach to a relationship in a sense, but it doesn't mean we don't care a lot for each other. It doesn't mean that we don't love each other. It does mean that I'm finally settled into my relationship, thank God, because while it may have been somewhat entertaining for the rest of humanity to watch me flail around as a single man online, um, it is not actually my ideal state of being per se. I do expect to be online a lot more, and there's another factor to be taken into consideration. Most of this relationship has been, well, it's all of it has been either the last week of a cycle as I'm winding down, or a sleepy week. I'm going back on cycle hopefully today when the mail comes. They, they better bring my speed script today or I'm going to be fucking pissed. Anyway, you know, are there going to be little points of contention? Yeah. Kimberly doesn't like when I call it speed. She'd rather I call it my medication or Adderall. But, that's easy to compromise. I'll remember to call it that around her people, and she understands I'm going to call it what I call it around my people. The interesting thing about this relationship is that coming into it, she knows about this, is cool with this, wants to, finds at least some aspect of having this in her life, indirectly, maybe. Right. I think she finds that rewarding in some capacity that is important to me. So there's a lot of practical considerations to be taken into account. As to who's driving the bus, I'd like to think we're both driving it with equal vigor in the same direction. I I've probably been I think I've surprised her consistently at my pushing forward for solidity, finality, commitment, and general settled indedness, and a disinterest in pursuing other options. And that is probably very surprising to somebody who has a life frame of, uh, well, I mean, the ENTP's mindset in general is all about what other possibilities are there. Except I've never been that way about relationships. I've been that way about everything else in life, but not relationships. Relationship thing is supposed to be the part that's nailed down, that's taken care of. I trace it back to basically romance styles. That within Alpha Quadra, you're dealing with infantiles and nurturers, and as a consequence, I'm just not cut out or made to go out and slay the puss. So, you know, when I was tasked to do so, I did so in a rather comically inept fashion, I suppose, but it was successful enough to find the woman who was actually well matched for me. I think Taylor points out successfully and correctly that it's amazing she's still here in that regard, but that's just proof positive that she's the right woman. She had to pass some tests, not tests that I intentionally gave. They weren't tests that I was giving for the purpose of testing anybody. They were just like Eric's natural bumblings. So, how does Kimberly respond to Eric's natural bumblings is an important question to have answered. Bumbling publicly throughout our first couple of weeks of our relationship is a good way to find out. And, at the end of the day, I don't care really who's driving. Uh, I know that everywhere we're traveling on this bus is a destination that I want to be at. So I'm convinced, despite my two divorces, or because of them more accurately, that I do know how to be in a healthy relationship. I think Kimberly will attest to the fact that I've put a lot of effort into communicating things about what it means to be in a healthy relationship and tried to demonstrate the qualities that I advocate for. Would you say that I've spent some amount of time talking about that, Kimberly? See?
So not amused.
She's not amused. I think she's happy with this speech, aren't you?
Yeah,
She's sort of happy with it. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
it was good, but no, we, I think we're still a work in progress. You and I. I mean, we work on this all day, every day. You and I.
do we?
Don't you think?
I think that some of it is active work on shit, but most of it is just living life together.
We do, but we are very aware of everything all of the time.
That's true.
We
That's
put each other
called
first
life with
before
an
anything.
ENTP. Every word, every gesture, every glance, every whisper has shitloads and shitloads of meaning. And it's all contradictory. So, what anything actually means is an exciting mystery. And that's why I'm right and you're wrong. The end. I love you all. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. Thanks for watching Talking with Famous People.